Good to see everybody and good to be here. Thank you so much, Larissa, for inviting me. And I hope that in the next couple of minutes, I will be able to share some insight with us on this important topic that Larissa asked me to talk about. I talking about the power of self-development. And my belief is that if you understand the things that we share with us, I believe that it's going to transform you, it's going to empower you, and it is going to position you in a place where you can become relevant and contribute something incredible to the society. I intentionally did not prepare a PowerPoint like a typical trainer, which I am, because I wanted to speak from experience. I wanted to speak from, you know, the power of personal development that I have seen. And I'm going to be sharing a blueprint of what we can do. My name is Javnyuy Joybert. For many people across Africa, they also like to call me Mr. Remarkable. And that word came because one of my favorite English words is remarkable. When you do something so amazing, I say remarkable. So my mentees and my students started calling me Mr. Remarkable. That's where the name actually came from. All right. So I'm an entrepreneur, I am a trainer, I am a speaker, I am a consultant. And due to the work I do, I get to travel a lot. I've been to 20 plus countries across the world. Presently talking to you from Washington. I just came in from Cameroon not long ago. And for some work that I get to do with businesses and governments when it comes to the African economy. So my job basically is to travel and speak, talk about economy, business strategy, market entries, making money, all of these things, right? And all of these things started from personal development. That's why I love the topic. Because sometimes when I go to places, people are like, where did you learn this? Is there a school that you went through to learn how to be good at strategy, to be good at all of this, all of that, right? But it all stems from that desire to just pick up a part, pick up an industry, pick up a purpose, a passion, and begin to work towards it. You build knowledge from four sources, primarily. You build knowledge from four sources. Hear me very well. You build knowledge from four sources. Source number one, you get knowledge from your academics, from school, academical knowledge. Number two, you get knowledge from education. Education is the knowledge that you get because of your desire to study, your self-education, personal development. Number three, you get knowledge from experience. There are some things that when you experience, you begin to build knowledge from that particular area. Number four, this will resonate more with Christians more. You get knowledge by revelation. There is a dimension of knowledge that is revealed by God because he is the father and the source of all wisdom. When you study the Bible, you see about the spirit of knowledge, the spirit of wisdom, and the spirit of understanding. And this is a dimension that God gives you. When you study the book of Daniel, you will see that he operated in excellent spirit of wisdom, understanding, processing, and solving complex problems. And that came because of his connection to his source, which is God, right? And we are focusing on getting knowledge through personal development, the power of personal development. And one thing that I have ascertained in life, and you can quote me anywhere, is you will never grow above the quality of knowledge that you command. For example, when I talk to business people and you tell me, I want my business to start making 10 million francs every month, the next question I ask you is, do you have the mental intelligence? Do you have the skill set to start making 10 million francs? If you want to go to the next level, you need to acquire the knowledge that the next level requires. And many a times, the education structure across Africa will not give you that. Many a times, the family structure that we grew up in cannot give us that. And until you become a seeker, anybody who understands personal development is a seeker of knowledge. You pay the price to know that which others are not willing to know. And one thing about personal development is it comes from the place of sacrifice. If you are not willing to sacrifice, you will never achieve personal development. Let me give you examples. Number one sacrifice is sleep, right? Sleep. Now, when I get to speak in different countries and different events and consult, people admire. So, I want to do the things you do. I want to speak like you. I want to talk sense like you and all of that. But it costs me a lot. My normal time is I go to bed at 11 p.m. and I wake up at 3 a.m. I am always studying. I need to know what others don't know. And this has been my lifestyle since 2011. I'm always buying books. I'm always reading documentaries. I'm always studying economics. I'm always doing things to understand why is this happening? What is the context? What may happen? What could happen? Why are people thinking like this? I always say something funny. Before I got my master's degree, I had studied 7 different master's degrees from different universities. Before I actually got my master's degree, I started being a guest lecturer in lecturing master's degree students when I did not have a master's degree. So one thing about personal development is it gives you access to uncommon knowledge that others do not have, but it's going to cost you. Personal development requires sacrifice. It has the power, yes, but for you to command that power, you need to acquire the knowledge first. Many people desire to be exceptional. Let me tell you something. The world is full of opportunities. It is much easier now to succeed than it used to be 10 years ago. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, we did not have Zoom. We are in Zoom right now, and we have 38 people right now in this Zoom call right now from 38 different houses, maybe more than 10 different cities, maybe more than 5 different countries in one location. This was not possible 15 years ago. So we have more resources, we have more infrastructure, we have a lot more to succeed now faster than 10, 15 years ago. But many people are not still able to operate from that dimension of exceptional success because they are not willing, or maybe some are willing and they are ignorant to operate from that level. And that will be done through personal education. So I said personal education requires sacrifice. Number one, you will need to sacrifice sleep and distraction. Let me give you another example. According to my lifestyle, I watch 1 movie a month. I used to love football, and I stopped watching football because I feel that 90 minutes is too much for me to spend to watch people kicking a small leather ball. So I stopped watching football. That's sacrifice. Because I prefer to do what others are not willing to do so I can achieve what they are not willing to achieve. So you need to sacrifice sleep, distractions, hang out with friends, and all of that. Number 2, financial sacrifice. While others are buying latest shoes and dresses with their money, you're buying books. It's hard, trust me. We are mostly young people here. It's hard. It's hard to see others live lavish and live good and post on their status and doing very well. Meanwhile, you cannot post the life that they are living because you are buying books. You are paying for seminars. You are paying for groups. You are here and there and all of that. That is sacrifice. That is sacrifice. I always say something funny. While other people are catching feelings, I'm catching flight. But trust me, it took me a lot of sacrifice to start catching flights, right? So it's going to cost you. You're going to make a decision. Are you going to see? Look, listen to me carefully. Progress and enjoyment do not happen at the same time. Many people forget this a lot, especially for us young people. If you are 35 and below and you are listening to me, it's either you choose enjoyment or you choose progress. The two cannot go together. The two cannot go together. And personal development requires a lot of this. So you're going to sacrifice that. You're going to retailor the way you spend your money. You're going to retailor the way you allocate your limited financial resources, so you focus on the key things that you need to start doing. That is the power of personal development. When you understand this, then the following things start happening to you. Number one, you start distinguishing yourself. That's the first power of personal development. It puts you in a position where you distinguish yourself. Let me tell you something. If you have first degree right now from the University of Boya or from whatever university, it means that all of your classmates, all of you know the same thing. You were taught by the same lecturer, you went through the same curriculum, you went through the same notes and handouts, all of you know the same thing. Therefore, you have no distinction. The only way that you can be distinguished in your career and in your industry is for you to invest in personal development. Is for you to start acquiring knowledge that others are not able to acquire or willing to acquire, so you can deploy that knowledge and distinguish yourself. Number two, the second thing that personal development will do for you is what I like to call precision of wisdom. Precision of wisdom. Precision of wisdom. What does that mean? The ability to meticulously and accurately apply knowledge that can cause transformation without doubt. I call it the precision of wisdom. The ability to meticulously, detailing, apply knowledge accurately and cause transformation as a professional without doubt. Let me give you an example. You may feel like bragging, but it's not. It's confidence. The way I'm speaking to you, I have no doubt. My wisdom is very precise. I am not guessing. I have no low self-esteem. I have no low self-confidence. I know what I'm saying makes sense. I've paid the price for it. And that's the power of personal development. You develop what I call precision of wisdom. I'm not reading from anywhere. I'm just saying because I know what I'm saying. School did not teach me this. My mom did not teach me this. But it is the intentional investment of time and resources to know that which others do not know, so that when I deploy it in a precise way that can cause transformation, people start moving forward. And that you can only acquire with personal development. Precision of wisdom. Many people are not able to rise to the highest level in their careers and purpose and potential because they are everywhere. If you give them 5 minutes to talk, they will not talk sense. They'll talk like 1,000,001 things. You will not understand what they're trying to say. They don't have the ability to be precise in what they're trying to communicate. For example, when I started the session, I asked people, can you all write your name and describe your dream in one sentence? Many people wrote nonsense, sorry to say. Very few people achieve up to 70% of precision. Very few people. Some people wrote general grammar, as I will call it. They were not able to see. Many people can meet their divine helpers and they miss the help because they're not able to precisely communicate what they do, how they do it, and the impact they bring to the table. So the second thing that wisdom will, personal development will give you is precision of wisdom. Number three, the power of personal development will enable you to know how to sell yourself and your ideas. You will know how to sell yourself and how to sell your ideas. It is possible to be academically balanced and have high GPA and be useless in the marketplace. Have you not seen people that have very good grades in school, but if you put them in front of people, they have nothing to say. They have nothing to say that makes sense. They lack the ability to sell themselves and to sell their ideas. And let me tell you something. The world is ruled by ideas. We are sitting here right now in this Zoom session, and we have tens of people here right now because somebody had an idea, conceived it, developed it, packaged it, and presented it, and you believed it. We are using Zoom right now because somebody had an idea, conceived it. The world is ruled by ideas, and we're even using ideas of dead people. Do you know that we are being ruled by dead people? If you are using the idea of a dead person, you are being ruled by a dead man. They are dead and they are gone, but the quality of their ideas still rules the world. Your school will not give you academic education is good. I would like to say that one of the best gifts that your school gave you is literacy. And don't get me wrong, school is very important. I encourage people to go to school. I have a doctorate degree. So it means I love school. I love academic because I know it teaches you some foundational things. Go to school, but let me tell you, school is not enough. If you're a student right now, let's say in a university, while other students are only reading their handouts and their university notes, let's say they're reading for 2 hours every day, make sure you read for 4 hours every day. 2 hours of academic work and 2 hours of personal development. Before you leave school, you'll be dangerously dangerous because the quality of your thinking will be different. So personal development enables you to learn how to sell your ideas and how to sell yourself. Are you learning something? Are you being blessed? Are you being challenged? Let me know in the chat box. If you are being challenged, let me know in the chat box. Good, 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 good. Awesome, awesome. Good to see that feedback. Number 4, I will soon round up soon, so keep your questions. Number 4, personal development will help you to elevate your presence. Personal development will help you to elevate your presence. You know, it is possible to be in the room and nobody recognizes you. Not to go too far. There are some people here right now in this Zoom call that since I started giving instructions, do this, do that, they have done nothing. They are just there. They are just existing. Right? Do you know that that is the outcome of the quality of the mindset? Now, one thing that personal development will give you is what people call self-confidence. And what is self-confidence? Believing in yourself that you have the ability to do something. And being able to elevate yourself. See, elevate your presence. The elevation of presence is very important. There are many people who are gifted. There are many people who are talented. But since they don't have the ability to elevate their presence, to make their presence feel, to make other people feel their presence and what they can contribute, there seems to be nowhere. Here there's somebody. No matter how talented you are, no matter how good you are, if nobody knows you, you die a talented poor man. You hear me? You die a very talented poor man. So many people are talented and they are useless, or not to say useless, they are not useful to anybody because they don't know how to elevate their presence. Why? Because our school system, our parents do not teach us how to elevate our presence. How can you get to a place where there are people and you strategically communicate? You strategically have a discussion. You intentionally make sure that people feel your presence, but you are not rude, you are not prideful, but people see that there is somebody in the room. It's called the elevation of presence. And how can you elevate your presence? The way you drive conversation. I like to call it intelligent conversations. When you get to a place, learn how to drive intelligent conversations. It's a powerful way to elevate your presence. There are some people that get to a place, they are just there. Nobody knows that whether they are dead or they are alive, they are just there. People are discussing, people are having discussions, you cannot even contribute, you cannot make sense. And you know why? Many people cannot make sense because they don't have the sense upstairs to contribute through their mouth. So if you don't elevate your presence, you will be talented, but nobody will notice you. And any talent that is not noticed is not useful to anybody. And even the Bible says, can you light a lamp and put it under the table? That is the principle of elevating your light, elevating your presence, elevate your talents, elevate your skill. And personal development will begin to build you up to understand how you can elevate your presence. For example, the thing that you are learning in this session right now, there is no school on earth that will teach you. That's a fact. You are here because of personal development. You are not learning this in an academic program. When your mind is being transformed, is being renewed, you begin to understand, oh, this is how I need to think, speak, and act so my presence can be elevated. So this is just the beginning. This is just the first step to you being able to elevate your presence and become better. Now, one thing that personal development will do for you is that it will teach you how to unlock high performance. It will teach you how to unlock high performance. I always like to say that the society is driven by three types of people. Number one, below average people. Number two, average people. And number three, high performance people. And personal development will teach you how to unlock your high performance. Let me give you an example. If somebody is here and you studied marketing, for example, and in your university, they did not teach you about social media marketing, search engine optimization, how to design graphics and engage people and all of that. You will be a marketing professional, but you don't have the ability to operate at a high level because you lack the real-time skills that the marketplace needs. Now, personal development will teach you that, hey, you have what they call skills gap. And the only way you can fill your skills gaps is for you to go seek for the knowledge that will help you fill the skills gap. You get a point? When you do that, you now unlock your high performance. You now unlock that. That is why you see that there are many people that will go to school. Everybody will go to school, have the same degree, but sometimes just a few people get to succeed, get to maximize their potentials. One of the things that really happens is that some people have been able to unlock their high performance, and they were able to do that using the key of personal development. The key of personal development. So by all means, I would like to encourage you, become a seeker as a roundup. And don't only be a seeker of everything. No. Pick an industry. Pick an industry. Do you want to be recognized as an expert? In what industry do you want to be recognized as an expert? Pick an industry and use personal development to grow in that industry. Avoid being everywhere. Avoid being everywhere. We are in a dispensation where if you are everywhere, you will get lost easily. Nobody likes to work with people who are everywhere with no results. People like to work with people that command authority, credibility, and experts in a particular industry. And let me tell you something, all industries are relevant. All industries on earth are relevant. Your job is to find your spot and begin to grow in that industry. Make a name for yourself. Become a sought-after expert. It's going to take time. You don't become an expert overnight. Research says that it takes on average 7 years of consistent growth in a particular path for you to be recognized as an expert. Not 7 years of laziness. Not 7 years of waiting for your appointed time. You wait like that, you will grow old and die young and die poor with nothing to show for. 7 years of consistent hard work, 7 years of 10,000 hours of dedication. It's called the 10,000 hours rule. It means that you have so studied about an industry, you have so studied about your profession that for 10,000 hours, you are consistently seeking knowledge, building capacity, building expertise until you have so become so good that nobody can ignore you. Pick an industry. Make up your mind to pay the price. It's going to cost you. It's going to cost you. But if you are willing to pay the price, you're willing to go through the process, you will definitely experience that which you are looking for. Let me tell you something. I'm one of those who strongly believe that everybody can become something. I don't know whatever path that you want to pick. I have had the privilege to coach many people, thousands of people. For more than 12 years of talking and coaching and mentoring and consulting, I have seen people leave from nothing confused to something amazing. Come on, look at Larissa. When Larissa came to me several years ago, she didn't know from her left and right. But look at the amazing work she's doing today, mentoring hundreds of young people. She came to me when you were still in the university, right? You were still in what? Second year, third year, right? But look at where she is today. Consistency. Met her for the first time in 2017 when she came to our 3-month training program. Right? But now, look at where she is. Just consistency, pick a path, dedication, willing to pay the price. If you do all of these things I have shared with you, you will rise and nothing can stop you. Let me tell you something. I'm one of those who strongly believe. I believe my secret is 2 things. I always say this. I believe in 2 things. I believe that if you have a steady relationship with God and you invest in yourself and become the best in your field, there is nothing on earth that can stop you. Not even Cameroon government can stop you. Forget about that thing that, look at, there's bribery, there is corruption, there's godfatherism, there's godmotherism, there's all of these things. But there is a dimension of expertise that you command, that those protocols will be broken so they can have access to you. You hear me? So if you do this, I don't care where you look. I always say something funny. If God could do what he has done for me, God can bless anybody. God can change anybody's story. I always say this, and I'm always serious. Based on my background and where I'm coming from, I don't deserve to be where I am today if based on my background. I don't deserve to be where I always say this. And that's why I love God to crazy. There's nothing you can tell me that will stop me from loving God. Nothing. Nothing. because I have seen what God can do with a nobody. I've always believed that anybody who has a relationship with God and anybody who has developed their skills and it becomes so excellent that nobody can ignore, there is no system on earth that can stop you. No system on earth that can stop you. And personally for me, there are places I have been to, with nobody endorsing me. Nobody endorsing. Nobody say, look, okay, Joybert is my son, oh my days, do this for him. And God intentionally did that so he can teach me a lesson. Teach me a lesson. So I want to encourage you. I don't know where you are. I don't know whether you're listening to me from a village, from a small town, from whether you're an orphan, whether there's nobody supporting you. I don't care whatever situation you are. But I know that if you make up your mind to create a path for yourself, a path to fulfillment, a path to greatness, and make up your mind that between you and your God, you're going to make it work. You're going to move forward and give yourself just time. You are going to make it. I don't know what success means to you. Success means to us differently. It means different things. But as long as there is something in your heart that you are heavily convicted about, and you know that this is who you're supposed to be, this is your calling, your purpose, this is what you want to do, and you're convicted about it, and you're willing to walk the path, then give yourself time and trust God what he will do. And he will definitely make it work for you. I will take questions now, and then my session can be done. All right, questions? You can type, I don't know how you want to coordinate it, Larissa, go ahead. Did I see somebody say she's from Washington, D.C.?
Yes, Stephanie Hurt is in Washington, D.C.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, find time to visit you. I'm in D.C. at the moment.
Oh my gosh. Are you serious?
I'm in DC. Right?
Wow.
Right now from DC.
Really? Really? What are the odds of that? Oh, Lady Visa.
No, we will definitely meet. We'll find a way.
Oh my God. I would so look forward to that. Sorry that my video is not on. I wasn't doing so many things and it was very impromptu, but oh my God, that would be amazing. Yes, I'm very open to that. Awesome. This is amazing. I don't want to take too much time, but I'm so grateful. Lady Brisa, I owe you so much. This is very impactful and it's right what I needed for right now. God is in this. He is in the midst of this. So I'm grateful.
Amen. All right, guys, shoot me questions. As I always like to say, make your questions tailored. I'm giving you free consulting now, free coaching that people pay for. So ask me any question. Here's the funny thing. In the last 6 months, I've not spoken in a free event. I can only, Larissa is my mentee, so that's why I accepted. I'm rejecting free events now because I'm busy. So ask questions now for free. I can give the next 20 minutes to answer as many questions as possible.
If you want to ask a question, you can just put up your hand and just unmute yourself. I think we should do it that way. Because if everybody unmute at the same time, it might be noisy.
You can type in the chat box. I think I see a question.
Okay.
I wish to ask that how can one identify his or her potential? Now it depends where you are. If I may ask, what level are you right now? Are you comfortable letting me know your age, your level of education? Because these dynamics play a very important role, right? But however, if you're a Christian, the first place is go pray about it, right? Go pray about it. Yes, go pray about it. Because see, God speaks. He can just lay something in your heart and you start just thinking about a particular path, a particular thing, and you're good to go, right? So pray about it. And sometimes it's just for you to do an analysis of yourself. Look at what are those things that interest you naturally interest you, right? You begin to break it down, start breaking it down. It's going to help you a lot. Okay, analyze it. You can look at maybe when you were growing up, or what do you effortlessly just do? That could be the foundation of you start editing it and breaking it more. Okay, but it is always within you. It's always within you. Okay, now, not this. You know that as human beings, there is pre-womb experience. Many of us start counting our lives from the day we are born. No, the Bible says before we are formed in our mother's womb, God knew us. So there's a pre-womb experience. There's a pre-conception you. Yes. You existed before your mom and your dad met. So there's pre-you. So that's why I always say that your purpose is older than you. What you are called to do is older than you, older than your physical body, than this body that we're seeing. So when you go back and talk to your source, it's going to open your mind, open your heart, begin to lay some burdens in you. You start seeking, you start verifying, you start asking more questions, you'll know more. Or sometimes it's just, what do you naturally hate or like to do? You begin to know, okay, this is what I can do. And know that that's just a tip of the iceberg. You now need to train yourself. Talent is not enough. People don't pay for talent. People pay for the skill that you can, for the value that you can create with your skill. It is skill that creates value. Talent does not create value. Talent is naturally gifted. For example, there are some of you that you are fluent. You can speak very fluently. That's a talent. That's a gift. But it doesn't mean that you're a business consultant. You now need to train yourself to become a consultant in whatever field that you want. You get the concept? So it's a whole stuff. I'll share with, I think I have 2 trainings on how to discover your purpose and potentials on my YouTube channel. There are free trainers on my YouTube channel. I would look for it and share with Larissa, and she can share with anybody who is struggling to discover purpose. I have developed a blueprint, a meticulous blueprint, a guide that if you go through step by step, do all the exercises before you finish, you will discover your purpose. You discover your potentials. And those of you that are doubting if you are in the right path, that particular teaching can also help you. Okay? I will share with Larissa. She can share with you guys in your WhatsApp group. All right. Let me see. Which self-help development books would you recommend for starters? Number 1, I would like to recommend The Power of Positive Thinking by Vincent Norman. It's a very powerful book. That's the book. That's the first ever personal development book I read in form 4, and it started changing my mindset. Let me tell you why. In primary school, I was consistently last in class. That means I was voted the dullest student, the most stupid student in class for all the 7 years in primary school, right? In secondary school, I was consistently promoted on trial. Like in Cameroon system, you get promoted to the next class if you have 10 average and above. My highest average in secondary school was 8.25. I never passed exam in secondary school. I was promoted on trial because they used to pity my single mom that she would not be able to pay the fees 2 times. That's actually what one teacher told me. You understand? So, but when I read the book, The Power of Positive Thinking by Vincent Norman, it changed my mindset. That's why when you look at my A-levels results and secondary school results, they are 2 different people, 2 different human beings. Or when my classmates in secondary school see me now, I was talking one yesterday to go to wonder, are you the same Joybert? Because I was so stupid and I didn't even like book anyway, right? So they're like, are you the same? I was talking one yesterday, and it was like, when I look at you, I'm just like, there's nothing God cannot do, right? But that book started shifting my mindset. The quality of my mindset started changing, okay? Read that book. Then you can look for any book that focuses on thinking and character. It's going to help you a lot. When you have your character right and your mindset right, you can achieve almost anything because you now have a growth mindset that you can begin to seek and produce more. Okay, good. What mistakes have you made on your journey to personal development that can help us better navigate this journey in the future? Let me see. What mistakes have I made that are really significant? You know, I always say that one thing about my life that is funny is that I had a difficult childhood, so it helped me to avoid a lot of things. Let me say so. So there are sometimes I struggle to think of mistakes that I made. Maybe sometimes I just say, you know what, I wish I was more dedicated more when I started than like the way I am right now. Sometimes I say that I wish I was more committed, I was more rugged the way I am right now, right? But the way I grew up really helped me a lot in terms of I didn't have luxury. I was born to a single mom. We are poor. So we didn't have the luxury to go for holidays or luxury for me to be going to nightclubs. And secondly, my mom too was very strict. One of the best things God gave me was my mom. My mom was dangerously strict, then ruggedly strict. We were struggling, but one thing that she gave me well was obedience. I was like, no, discipline, this rugged, not the kind of mom that when she slaps you, the slap can turn you around like 3 times. Good. For those who are in Cameroon, you know that kind of mom that when the mom says, "Me and you go wear one trouser today," you understand what that means. In our house, you don't come back home after 6 p.m. Right? In our house, my mom warned me one time, the day I catch you in a nightclub, you are finished. I've never gone to a nightclub in my life since that day. So there are many things that she warned me about: gambling, snooker, baby food, all these funny games so I didn't have that luxury to be doing stupid stuff. I didn't have the luxury to drink alcohol. I tested alcohol once in my life when I passed GC advanced level. That was the first and the last time. And from that time to now, I don't drink alcohol at all because it is an abomination around my mom. Right? So the way she raised me up prevented me from general mistakes that young people get to make. I remember one time during Christmas, she didn't buy us dresses. She sat me down and she said, because we don't have, that doesn't mean that you should steal. I don't know why she said that, but it stopped with me as a teenager. So there was no way that even if you try, just steal meat in the house, they will beat you as if you stole from a bank, right? So these things prevented me, even when I live alone and I do all of that, they prevented me a lot from certain stuff and all of that. But sometimes I just wish that, you know, I was more dedicated. I was more rugged, like the way I am today. Maybe I should have been further than where I am right now, right? So for those who are starting, you don't have time, guys. You don't have time. Make good use of the time that you have. Before you know it, you are 30. Before you know it, you are 40. Before you know it, you are old. It will happen like that within the twinkle of an eye. Just yesterday I was 20 years old. Yesterday I was in secondary school. It's gone. So sometimes I just wish that, you know, because I used to watch a lot of movies. You understand? But I will encourage you, make good use of your time. Make good use of the time that you have so that you don't have regrets tomorrow. Okay? Good. And of course, avoid people that will push you in the wrong path. I wish to ask, how can one have a personal relationship with God when you have a mind that keeps bringing guilt to your mind at every second you close your eyes to pray? Now, this is a very deep question. I would like to talk to you one-on-one because I understand where you're coming from. You can get my number from Larissa and this talk, and I'll give you some teachings. I have some teachings on, I'm also a pastor, so I get to minister a lot, right? And one thing I like to teach is, yesterday I was teaching with a group of entrepreneurs. For those some of you are here, maybe in the ministry, Professionals and Entrepreneurs Fellowship. Yesterday I was teaching about consecration unto wonders. And sometimes when you are not fully, when you don't understand the gift of righteousness that you have in Christ Jesus and the consecration that you are walking in, you get to walk around with a lot of guilt based on your past. And let me tell you, everybody has a past. I have a past I'm not proud of. You have a past you are not proud of. There's nobody that lived a perfect life. You understand? But when you understand the gift of righteousness through Christ Jesus, those things can move away. But you need to go through a full teaching, a full training, full, sometimes even mentorship, what churches sometimes call foundational classes, whatever, right? So reach out to me and I'll give you some teachings and work with you because it's very important. Doubt and guilt are dangerous enemies when it comes to spiritual growth. Very dangerous. Okay, good. There is a preconception me. My purpose is okay, good. Just reinforcing. Is it possible to work out more than one of your identifiable industries, considering the fact that you realize you excel and manifest appropriately in those areas perfectly? You know, one of the highest number of people that I've seen that end up failing are talented people. People are talented in many areas. They end up failing. Do you know why? Because they end up being everywhere. They are so excited and they're everywhere. Look, because you are talented in many things doesn't mean that you should do everything. Some of your talents are what I call supportive talent. They are there to support your main talent. They're there to support your main manifestation. For example, let me say a pastor who is talented and can sing. Because you can sing doesn't mean you are designed to be a singer. But that is just a talent given to support your main talent. So you need to find what is the main talent. Right? For example, me, I can read about everything practical and I can teach on almost anything I read very well and practice. But it doesn't mean that I should be a speaker in all fields. I'm a speaker in productivity and business. Simple, it ends there. There are many people that have reached out to me and pay me 1 million, 2 million to speak in a field that's not my. I said, no, I cannot speak in that field. That's not my field. Because if I want to build a brand that commands authority and credibility, I need to command expertise in a particular industry. Because people who are everywhere never end up going anywhere because nobody really respects them because they're everywhere. They're like, wait, this guy is doing so many things. Is he really good at this thing? That's how people think. You understand? So yes, it's possible to be gifted in many areas. However, pick one and then use other gifts to support your main gift and begin to rise. Okay? How can one set a balance between focusing on a particular industry while merging other skills? Why do you need to merge other skills if you already have an industry? All the skills you are learning should be for you to rise in that industry. As simple as that. All the skills that you're learning should be for you to rise in that industry. For example, I have many skills. I do graphic designs. I edit videos. There are many things that I do. They are all geared towards my work in a particular field. And many times I pay money and I learn a new skill for the purpose of the work I do in my industry, not for me to be everywhere. So there's nothing, don't bother yourself about merging skills. No, it's as simple as, is this your profession? Is this what you want to do for the rest of your life? Are you sure about it? Are you convicted about it? Then what skills do you need to make that dream come to pass? Begin to acquire those skills and use those skills to make that dream come to pass. I wish to ask, how can I develop myself personally? That's what we're just teaching right now, right? Except there's a particular question you want to ask, but that's what I was just teaching a few moments ago. How can I nurture myself physically? What do you mean physically? I'm trying to understand what that means. What can one do when they lose hope? Now, see, anybody who loses hope has no clue. That means when they look at their life, they really have no clues of what could happen. And many a times when people say that they have lost hope, it's not really hope that they have lost. They are just disappointed. They are just frustrated. It's not hope. You have not lost hope. Because trust me, if you sincerely lost hope, but God forbid, if you sincerely lost hope, many a times you have no reason to live. Now, but many people who come to that level, what happens is when they look at their life, there is no clue of why they should keep moving forward. But everybody has clues. There's always a clue. Sometimes your clue could be God. God, I know that things are hard, but as long as there is God, I'm going to make it. That is that one thing, that is that North Star that is giving you assurance that, hey, something good is going to happen. Okay? So you need to find what are the possible future possibilities that can happen to you. Okay? What are the possible future possibilities? And one thing about life is, please, never use your present circumstance to conclude on your future manifestation. Many people lose on that a lot. Because you are broke now doesn't mean you'll be broke tomorrow. There is something called future possibilities. Because you are in debt now, because you are owing somebody now, doesn't mean you will not be rich tomorrow. No, no. As long as you cannot control tomorrow, you don't have the right to give up on yourself today. You don't have that right. I know things can get so hard and so difficult, and you feel as if the whole world is crumbling on your head. I understand that. I have been there 100 times. I can tell you that. I know what it means to wake up and not know what to eat tomorrow. I know what it means. If I share you my story like Weto, I think my own is better. You understand? I know what it means. There was a time in Baminda that I was selling beer in a beer parlor because I did not have way to sleep. I had to go and look for a beer parlor to start selling beer there so that I can have way to sleep, alcohol. Right? There are many things I have done just to survive. So I understand what it means to be at the rock bottom and like there's no hope for tomorrow. But hey, please, never use your present immediate circumstance to conclude on your destiny. No, that is limited information. You still have 40 years, 80 years ahead of you, and you want to use a one-day circumstance and then conclude you're a failure. Don't do that. Don't do that. And number two, you did not create yourself. Your creator has not said it is finished yet. So how can you decide that my own don't finish or my own don't finish? So who told you it is finished? Do you know? Hear this very well. Hear this very well. Do you know the enemy is not that powerful to stop you from succeeding? Listen to this. Listen to this. Your destiny, your tomorrow is read only. It's not editable. The devil cannot edit your destiny. Your document, see, your destiny is read only. The only thing the enemy can do is to distract you, to deceive you, put thoughts in your mind. Look, the devil is not powerful. See, the devil has two powerful instruments in life: distraction and deception. Distraction. The devil is, even witches and wizards. Me, I have confronted witches. I said, get out of here, my friend. Have you not seen your age mates? That's how I told one witch like that. Get out of here. Have you not seen your age mates? So I said, well, I went to one place and one papa told me that the power that is backing you are fear. He was a cultist. See, these guys, they are just good at intimidating you. And then the devil now is, you see, distraction. The enemy is he destroys destinies with distractions. He will put funny friends around you. He will make you to be addicted to Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. Make you to like movies. Because he cannot edit your destiny. The devil cannot edit your destiny. He cannot delete it. He cannot edit it. He cannot delete it. He's not that powerful. Let us know this and know peace. But the point is now, he's very good at distractions. You will see a young man that has a beautiful destiny. Now he'll make you now to start being lustful after women and become a womanizer and start spending money on women and alcohol. Boom. He will not take you away from your destiny. You start spending money on things that are not worthwhile. You not start feeling my village, but the enemy has done this, he has done that. Yes, he did it though, but not because he's powerful, but because he can distract you and deceive you. Like the lady who talked about when you're praying, you feel guilt. It's called deception. Because he wants to disconnect you from tapping from your source. He starts putting pictures into your mind. Oh, look at what you did yesterday. Look at what you did last week. When he put those pictures, he now drains your prayer life. You can no longer connect to the source. That's the highest thing that the enemy can do. There's nobody in God. See, let me tell you something. Never write anybody off who is in God. And hear me very well. If you are listening to me and you know that you are genuinely in Christ Jesus and you love God, even if you don't have 1 franc now to eat, you don't know what to eat and go to bed, please don't write yourself off. I want to guarantee you, do not write yourself off, because it takes God like this. Look at when God wanted to change my life, it was just one email, one email, and my life changed till today. After toiling and suffering and working hard and living hand to mouth, one. And let me tell you something about the faithfulness of God. When God trusts you, it is called faithfulness. And show me somebody in the Bible who has done incredible things. I will show you somebody who has gone through the process and was trusted by God. Job only had double because God trusted him. If Joseph ended up sleeping with Potiphar's wife, he would have never been second in command in Egypt. Never. And if Joseph decided to kill himself because he was in the pit, like somebody saying you feel like losing hope and all of that. If Joseph decided to do like you and say, you know what, since my brothers have buried me in the pit, since I'm only a boy and a house boy in Potiphar's house, my own don't finish. If Joseph decided to write himself off, he even went to prison. If you're not talking from prison, you're even talking from your bed, from your father's house or from your own house. You are not in prison. If Joseph decided to write, you know what, my own don't finish, I am in prison, nothing good can come out from me. Look at that. But Joseph did not write himself off. In prison, Joseph was using his gift to interpret dreams. Let me advise you, in your lowest moments, keep using your gift. In your lowest moments, in your obscurity, when nobody knows you, keep building yourself and keep using your gift. If Joseph did not use his gift to interpret the dream of the butler would have not recommended him to Pharaoh. Imagine Joseph went to prison and just sat in one corner. My own don't finish, so I'm not talking to anybody. Life is so hard. Everybody hates me. Heaven is against me. Devil is against me. The devil's father lives in my house. You just let my own don't finish. How you stay like that? If Joseph did that, nobody would have ever recommended him. Hear me, somebody. If you are going through the most difficult moments in your life right now, Galatians says, do not grow tired of doing good. Please, if you are going through, see, I'm saying so because I have been in tough situations. I know what it means not to know where to sleep. See, I've hustled though, don't mind. If you see that I've hustled. There was a time, Bamenda, that for 7 days, I slept in 7 houses. People I did not know. I'll go to Okada Park in City Chemist, from Bamenda. I'll go to City Chemist. When I hear a guy speaking Lamso, I'll go and speak to him. Hey, pa, how far? I don't come every day, camp. I don't get place for sleep. I sleep in a house for 1 night. A stranger. I did like that for 7 days before I had a permanent place to. The last day, I saw a childhood friend who was selling what they call Africa second-hand dresses. I saw him selling dresses in food market in Bamenda. I was just lurching around. I didn't know where to sleep that night. I saw him selling dresses. I just met him and I started selling dresses. As he was selling, when it was time to go home, I accompanied him around 8 p.m. We sat and watched a movie. He said, "Pa, you know you go house." No, when I told him that I don't know where, I don't have where to go. And I lived with him for a couple of weeks. So I know what it means to be stranded in the days when nobody's there to help you, in the days where things are not good. But if there's one thing I can tell you, even if you are owing the government now $1 billion, don't write off yourself. Find it, find that motivation. The best place to find hope and motivation is in God. Let me give you a secret. In your most difficult moment, read the book of Psalms. Just be reading it. Just be reading it. Just be reading it. Just be reading it. Just read. If you like, read aloud. Like you're not understanding, just be reading it. Because you need information to enter and edit that wrong information and give you hope for tomorrow. What are some common obstacles people face when they are trying to improve themselves? Distractions. Number 1 is distraction. Lack of discipline. Lack of self-control and discipline. For example, you will set your alarm clock. I would like to wake up at 4 o'clock and study. Alarm clock ring like that. You send your hand like that and off it with your eyes closed. You even see your alarm without opening your eyes, and you off it and go back to bed. You have a skill in offing off your alarm. You lack the discipline. What is the meaning of self-discipline? Doing what must be done when it must be done, whether you feel like doing it or not. Feelings have no role in self-discipline. When it concerns self-discipline, there's nothing like, I don't feel like. No, feelings have no place in self-discipline. Self-discipline means that when it's time to wake up, you don't care how tired your body is. You don't care how sweet the sleep is. It's time to shut the hell up and get up. If you build self-discipline, there's no obstacle that you will not move when you're trying to improve yourself. If you conquer distraction, it could be friends, movies, social media, too much hangout. When your friends are going anywhere, the first person they call is you. In short, your name is even program. You have program for all programs. I had a friend like that. He has program for all programs. The latest weddings in town, he knew it. The latest birthdays, he knew. He knew when all the nightclubs are opening in Bamenda. He knew. We used to call him program for program. If you want to go far in life, keep people like that away from you. Cut off distractions. Number 2, build self-discipline. Self-discipline means that when it's time to do something, do it. Not based on how you feel, but based on the relevance of you doing that thing. Okay? Good. Let me see. What is your advice? What's that? What is your advice on managing fellow young persons as a leader? I'm a president of JCI, Douala. Okay. Now, leadership is complicated. Trust me. It's not easy to lead. That's a fact. It's not easy to lead. However, one of the most powerful things in leadership is you being an example and you educating. And secondly, if people have not bought the vision, they will not be convicted to be committed to that vision. The most terrible people to live on earth are people who are standby people, passerbys, people who are present physically. You know, those if you run a WhatsApp group, you know what I'm talking about. They are in the group, but they never cough. And they are not living there. They don't leave the group. They are not coughing. They don't do anything, but they are there. Dangerous set of people. Dangerous set of people. Right? So those are people that they have not bought the vision. They don't even know why they are there. So in leadership, learn to be the example. Learn to keep educating. Keep making sure that you are instilling in them the vision, the purpose for why that organization is there. The day they understand, they will start working hard towards that, right? So the first thing is grow yourself. Grow yourself. How do you mitigate your weaknesses? Now, number one, everybody has weaknesses. Everybody has weaknesses. It's just that our weakness, we all have different weaknesses, right? And the best way is identify your weakness. Identify your weakness and create a system. I personally, for me, I like to address my weakness with systems. When I identify a particular weakness, and I look, okay, what kind of daily system can I build to sort out this weakness? And the system will always include something like boundaries. What boundaries do I need to set so that this weakness is not there? You now set that boundary and you discipline yourself to respect that boundary. Number two, what is the step-by-step system that you need to develop yourself to go through so you can become used to it? Because you need to improve the weakness into a strength or delete that weakness and replace it with another habit. So you set boundaries and then you because when you go through a system, it becomes easy for you to adapt and develop it. Okay, that's going to help you. How can you identify a child's dream and grow the child towards realization of his or her dream? Now, I'm not a child development expert, but from my personal perspective, one thing that I tell parents when they ask me this question is, please, this is the worst century or age to try to force your child what to do. For example, parents now trying to force their kids on what to do, they are going to get it wrong, very wrong. In our time, we have Zoom, fintech, all types of apps, AI, all of that. Our parents did not have that when they were growing up. So they don't understand this dispensation. Now, what am I trying to say? The best thing, if you're a parent right now, please learn how to observe your child, not to tell your child what to do in terms of career. The character, mindset, work on that. Don't leave your child loose, okay? But when it comes to profession, when it comes to industry, when it comes to realizing their potentials, your job in the first many years of their life is to observe. Observe, and secondly, feed their curiosity. Please don't kill the curiosity of your child. I have a daughter. When she wants to do something, I like to make sure that I make her experience it, because that's the best way I am going to see the things she likes and the kind of things that excite her and where she excels. The time you said, oh, I would like to go swim, I would like to go to a swimming pool and see what it means. All right, let's go. Let me go see what. You expose her and observe. Of course, with boundaries, build their character, their mindset. You know how our African parents raised us up. Yes, make sure you're doing that. Okay? But observe them. Don't try to force a career on your child. You're going to get it so wrong that you'll be so disappointed in yourself that you advise your child. Because companies that will rule the future have not yet started. Do you know that 70 to 80% of jobs that we'll be doing in 2030 have not yet been discovered? Right now, we're talking about prompt engineers, people that can put prompts into ChatGPT and AI platforms. That's not a job. This job was not there 2 years ago. There are new jobs arising every single day. New names, new jobs. New companies that we have not seen before, they are coming. So the world is changing. So the best is to do that. And in all you do as a mother, as a parent, please learn to feed the curiosity of your child. Let them experience things that they have not experienced before. Because the way they think, they are not thinking like us. That's why you give a child of 2, 3 years old, the way they manipulate a phone, you begin to wonder, but did you have a phone in the tummy? When you were in your mother's stomach, did you have a phone there? No, they did not have. But it's just, I don't know. Sometimes I just say that they were born with the latest softwares in their heads. So you can even try to understand that, right? So just feed their curiosity. I was saying something, one of my goals I want to do is that when my daughter clocks 10, I want to take her to travel I want her to go to Dubai and to go to any European country. I want her to just see what is not in Cameroon. Let her see another world. Then when she sees the two worlds, she will know that what she knows is not enough. And it's going to open her mind to different things. It's very important. All right? So observe, give them experiences, watch carefully, mold them, mentor them, counsel them, but don't force them that do this. I know kids who are doing TikTok and they're able to make more money than their parents who are working full-time. I know kids who run YouTube channels, and YouTube channel is able to make 7 million a month, 10 million a month, and parents cannot make 10 million a year in Cameroon from salary. You see the differences? So tap into that and make sure you're open-minded as a parent. Okay, so many questions. My time is up. I have a meeting like in 10 minutes. How many hours of sleep do you recommend for us young people? Now, I don't want to do this. However, it depends on, personally for me, I don't believe in sleeping more than 5 hours. I don't sleep more than 5 hours. Sometimes it's 3 hours, 4 hours. The lowest is 3 hours, the highest is 5 hours. And it all depends on what is on my table. Right? Now, but however, if you are here and you sleep for 7 to 8 hours on a daily basis, if you calculate very well, you sleep more than 6 months of your life every year. If they now add social media and gossiping and all of these things, you'll be like, wait, what am I doing with my life? And you see, you cannot compete with somebody who is putting in 5 hours every day in their career and you're putting in 1 hour every day. You cannot compete with that kind of person. The person will always be a step ahead of you. A step ahead of you. But I would recommend, find yourself, understand who you are, and make up your mind to pay the price. Be psychologically prepared for it. I can sleep for 3 hours in 24 hours and it will not affect me in any way because psychologically I'm ready for it. Okay? Over time, let me give you my sleeping pattern. In the early years of my career, I used to study a lot too, a lot. So I used to go to bed at 11 p.m. and I wake up at 2 a.m. I did that till 2016. In 2016, I added 3 a.m. if I have a lot of work. When I have less work, I wake up at 3:30 a.m. So till now, it's either I wake up at 3 a.m. or 3:30 a.m. That's my normal schedule. And I go to bed. My phones, my laptop, they are all set to go off. Immediately it's 11 p.m., they shut down. That discipline, that system is important. Okay? And then when you do that, rest is important, though. Don't misquote me. However, when I'm doing that, I'm conscious, okay, my system needs a lot of water. My system needs a lot of fruit. So I get to talk to a doctor. Okay, look, my doctor went one time, you need to start resting more. I said, no, give me another solution because I'm not sleeping more. If it's to add more sleep, forget about that. Give me another counsel. That's why I'm telling you as my doctor. Okay, you know what? You need to make sure you drink a lot of water and eat a lot of fruits. You understand? So you recommend that because when it comes to that adding sleep, forget that's not an option. That's not an option. I sometimes I wish that there's no sleep. And I wish that, you know what, God could delete sleep for a while. But not always wish that can we buy some time from people? Those who have a lot of time to sleep, can we buy your time and give you money so that we can use your time? With more time, you create more value and you sell more value, you make more impact and more money. As simple as that. Right? All right. That's it I have. I need to go for the next meeting. I hope that you are blessed, you are challenged, and to just say, I do a lot. Most of these things that I have shared, and even more, I have a lot of deep teachings on my YouTube channel where I teach a lot of these strategies and personal development here and there. I'm going to share the YouTube link for those who want. You see many of these principles. You see some videos there where I've taught them in detail of some of these things. All right. So you can go to the channel. You see I have more than 600 videos on that channel, different teachings on different areas that will really help you to grow. Go on that channel, spend some time there, and you will learn some stuff. Okay. Remember two things. Hope is hopeless without action. When I always do trainings, tailored masterclass training, I always start with this, and I always tell people this. Number one, when an expert is teaching you, when you are attending a session, always make sure that you make two decisions. What will I start doing because of what I learned? And what will I stop doing because of what I heard? So I want to ask you a question. Because of these few minutes I have spent with you, what will you start doing because of what you have learned today? And what will you stop doing because of what you have heard today? The quality of your life will only change when you begin to deploy the knowledge acquired. Until then, forget about change. For Christians, I always say this. There is a dimension of grace and favor that only comes on you when you have invested a certain type or level of hard work and commitment. Hear me again. There's a level of favor in God that you only unlock, a level of grace that you only unlock based on the quality of hard work that you have put in the path that God has called you. Okay? So go and do that. Remember, hope is hopeless without action. And number two, recognition only comes after action. Have you ever heard where they do an award? Let us gather and give an award for the most lazy human being on earth. No. I have had the privilege to win 41 awards in 4 continents. I know what it means to be celebrated. 41 awards, 4 continents, Queen of England, White House awards, different places. Nobody celebrates mediocre and a lazy person. Action precedes recognition. Show me somebody taking action. I will show you somebody who will soon be recognized. So make sure you go and take action. And of course, your life will definitely be different. All right, guys, God bless you and keep building your dream. Cheers.